Hi everyone, my name's Carolyn and this is going to be a channel about cross stitch. It's my first floss tube. I've started this a few times and I figure, you know what, instead of starting and stopping and trying to get it right, let's just keep going forward. I've thought about starting a floss tube channel for a while now. I tried to talk a friend or two into doing it, but I think they're a little shy and don't want to do it with me, but who knows, maybe one day I'll talk them into perhaps joining me. I am a fairly private person, so I probably am not going to share too much of my personal life on here. I do other crafts, which I'm going to do needlework tags, so I'll go into that a little bit. And I'll try not to share too many of my other crafts unless it's something I'm really excited about or it's a good finish that maybe merges cross stitch and one of my other crafts together. I might share it in a finish. I will say a lot. That'll happen. I'll probably cuss. That'll happen too. Can't help it. Child-free household. Just is what it is. You cuss. So let's get started. Let me do first needleworker tags so you get to know a little about me. Like I said, my name's Carolyn. The first question on needleworker tags, you will see me look down. I have notes. I had to go look some stuff up because some of this stuff is kind of old and I didn't keep too many good records back in the beginning. But for needlework tags, where do I live? I live in Boynton Beach, Florida. It is on the southeast coast of Florida. We're about 5 minutes from the coast. We're actually right on the ocean. We live about 5 minutes from the ocean. We're in southern Palm Beach County. Most people are probably familiar with Boca Raton or Boca Raton. We're just north of Boca Raton. It's a nice area. A lot of retirees, a lot of snowbirds. But I really do enjoy the area. So, next question. What do you do for a living? I'm going to keep it a little vague. I do work for the state of Florida and the Florida Department of Transportation. I kind of limited that on how much I say because when I go into too much detail of exactly which division I work for, I start to get a lot of questions. And yeah, I've learned long ago not to tell exactly which department I work for with the state of Florida and the Department of Transportation because I start getting a lot of questions that I don't really want to answer when I'm not at work. So I'm just going to leave it at that. State of Florida, Florida Department of Transportation, and I'm an accounting manager. I run a small team, and probably as most of you are doing right now with quarantine 2020, I've been working from home, which has worked out great. I have an awesome team. We're getting through it, and it'll be good. It'll get over soon. I'm not going to say much on it because, you know, y'all probably heard enough of it. I know I've heard enough of it, so I'm just keeping myself busy. Children, as I've already said, no kids. Hubby and I, nah. No kids for us. We've been married 13 years. Met him about 16 years ago. Great man. But, yeah, we have no kids. We have nieces and a nephew, and as far as we're concerned, those are our kids. We try to spoil them as much as we can and do a lot of stuff with them. Of course, they're not really kids anymore. They're all young adults, all starting their lives out in the world, but forever and always, they'll always be our kids. As to pets, I currently have one pet. I have a 17-year-old hairless Chinese crested. His name is Ricky. He's very old. He's blind. He had glaucoma in both eyes, so his eyes were removed about 5 years ago. So he's a blind little guy. He's 17. He sleeps a lot. You probably are not going to hear the pitter-patter of little toenails on the floor because, like I said, he sleeps. We used to have another Chinese crested hairless boy who lived till about 14 years old, and he passed away 2016. So we miss him a lot, but we thankfully still have our one little crested Ricky. And he's our little buddy. He's, you know, people don't like to hear it, but he's our kid. He spoiled the houses. Everything in this house is for his comfort and his comfort only. He rules the roost. As far as hobbies, I am multi-craftual. Let's say that. I have been a quilter since my teenage years, and let's just say that was a long time ago. I started quilting my teenage years. I've been quilting on and off since then. I currently belong again to the South Florida Modern Quilt Guild. I used to belong to another local quilt guild. My quilting friends have said I'm not quilting as much as I used to, which I'm not. I'm trying to get the quilting bug back, a little bit of inspiration to get back into my quilting. So I haven't done that as much over the past couple years, but it still happens. I also am a knitter. I still do attend my Thursday night knit group with my friends, and they knit and I cross stitch, and they're a great group of gals, and they also cross stitch too, so we do get together and have a cross stitch day every now and then. But I knit. I also haven't knitted that much recently. I mean, it's South Florida. It's hot. There's not much need for knitting here. There ain't much use for quilts, but the quilts, they're great when it actually gets a little cold or the air conditioning gets too cold. I can wrap up in a quilt. They're great gifts for babies and young kids or graduation gifts. The knitting, it's hot. I know there's a lot of Florida knitters, but I've knitted a lot of shawls. They're great to wear in the air conditioning, but nah, I don't really wear them that much. So I do have a lot of yarn still. I'll dabble every now and then for a road trip and I'll knit something. I also crochet. I've dabbled in tatting. And then cross stitch. I did cross stitch back when I was a kid. I did it. I remember my after school babysitter used to cross stitch all the time. My mom used to cross stitch all the time. So I did a little cross stitch back in the 80s. But I didn't like the designs back then. It didn't stick with me. And I would say about 6 years ago, I saw a pattern online that was quilting cross stitch related. And I'll show that here in a minute for previous finishes. And that kind of got me back into cross stitching because it combined quilting and cross stitching. And then I kind of got hooked into the cross stitching. So I've been cross stitching pretty steady for the last 6 years and have done a lot of projects. Favorite movie. Favorite movie. I love Excalibur. It's an oldie, but anything King Arthur. I love Excalibur. That's got to be one of my favorite movies that I can watch over and over again. I also like the Guardians of the Galaxies. I like period dramas, comedies, pretty much. I'll watch it, just no horror. I don't like horror movies. Too old to be scared. Favorite TV show. Favorite TV show. I used to love The Big Bang Theory and loved watching The Big Bang. I love watching Lucifer. I think he's funny. It's hilarious. I can't wait for the final season to come out. I'm a big fan of Outlander. And some of my guilty pleasure TV watching is Big Fat Fabulous Life. I've got my husband hooked on that too. I don't know. Drama. And I don't know why we like to watch it. We watch it. And Mama June. I can't help it. I watch Mama June. I talked to my brother the other night. Apparently he's also a Mama June fan. But we don't watch too much reality TV. We do like to watch some dramas. We're currently into Ray Donovan right now. And I just finished that Tiger King on Netflix, which, like, blew my mind. I couldn't believe that. I've been telling everybody, watch Tiger King. Yeah, that's something I couldn't stop watching. Good stitching TV. Favorite book. I love the Outlander series. I can't wait until the next one is written because I want to continue the story. It's been a long time. I started reading that long ago before anyone probably knew what Outlander was. Game of Thrones. Read that long ago, long before anyone knew what Game of Thrones was. Next books need to come out. I'm tired of waiting. I mean, let's wrap it up. Let's get it going. It's been a number of years. I also like Count of Monte Cristo by Dumas. That's one of my favorite books. I try to read that every couple years. I can't get tired of that one. Music. 90s alternative rock. Yeah. Favorite channel that's always on in my car is on Sirius XM is XM Turbo. Yeah, alternative rock. I like it. I can't help it. Silver haired. Some people mistake me for senior citizen. I get senior citizen discount, but I'm driving down the road rocking out to some alternative rock. And I'll stitch to it too, quilt to it. It relaxes me. And one word to describe me. A little quirky, a little eccentric. I know my nieces probably think I'm the eccentric aunt who, you know, has blue glasses, dyes their silver hair blue. It's a little faded right now. Waiting for it to grow out, and then I'll dye it blue again. So, let's go over to some previous finishes. I'm going to show you some stuff that I'm sorry, I keep looking down at my notes. I'm going to show you some items that I finished years ago, back when I first got back into cross stitching. Some are fully finished, some need to be finished. They're kind of just hanging around, but let me show you those. One second. So like I said, when I first got back into cross stitching, this is Quilty Stitches by Coriander Quilts. It was on her blog or her website. It's just all quilt blocks. I changed some quilt blocks, changed up the colors, kind of chose my own colors, and it's stitched on, oh god, that's probably 16 count Aida, white Aida. I wasn't too aware of all the special stitchy stuff, local LNSs back when I first started. As I was just getting into it, I didn't want to invest too much. So that was one of my first ones. That's Coriander Quilts Quilty Stitches. Maybe one day I'll finish it. Maybe I'll finish it and do like a little quilted wall hanging or something. But I finished this back in 2014. And another older finish I did was, this is Halloween Skull. It was in an issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine, Halloween 2014. I love this. I don't know. I need to finish it. It's just been, you can see I have them hanging on a pan hanger. They've just been hanging in my sewing room. Yeah, I love this. I think it's awesome. Like I said, it was in the 2014 Halloween issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. It's on, oh goodness, looks like probably 16 count, 18 count white Aida. If I was to ever do this again, I think I'd definitely pick a great hand-dyed fabric to do it on, but I think he's fabulous. I got to get him finished. So those are two of those. And some other previous finishes that I do have fully finished. This is Magical Creatures Sampler by Clouds Factory. I started this in 2014, finished it in 2015. Clouds Factory, you can find them online. I don't know what this was stitched on. It's some kind of blue Aida. I don't know where I got it. I didn't keep track of stuff back then. I think it's just DMC. It looks like just DMC. I don't think I used fancy floss on it. But it was a gift from a friend of mine, Carrie Lynn. She's Crafter Lynn on Instagram. She gifted this to me. I just love it. The little centaur, the wizard, the dragons, the mermaids. I think it's so cute. This one pretty much hangs up year-round on my my little area where I display my cross stitch. So it's adorable. I do have another Clouds Factory, Wacky Witches. I'll show that in another video, if I make another video. But this one's adorable. This one hangs around year-round almost. Some other previous finishes. This is Sweet Spring by Satsuma Street. Finished this one back in 2016. I get a lot of my framing done by my local LNS, the Cross Stitch Cupboard in Fort Lauderdale. They do great framing, reasonable prices. So I'm not sure what I stitched this on. It's an even weave, probably 28 count. Some of my work I sign, not all of it, only when I think about it. But this one is adorable. I have it out now because I'm getting ready to switch out my stitching and put out some spring stitching. So this is Satsuma Street. I think it's called Sweet Spring. I think that's what it's called. It's a 28 count even weave. I don't know the color of the fabric, but it's adorable. I have another one to do of this with the goose, kind of like another Easter pattern. And since I'm switching out my stitching, I don't keep it all up year round. I kind of switch it out for the holidays. This is Mirabilia Snow Days. I finished this one, oh goodness, 2017. A lot of this stitching was done during Hurricane Irma in 2016. Kind of like quarantine 2020. You're stuck inside. You get your supplies. You don't do anything. And we sit inside. We stitched. We prayed the cable wouldn't go out. We prayed the power wouldn't go out. We got lucky. We lost power for maybe 8 hours. It wasn't long. FP&L did a good job. Got our power back on pretty quick. But I stitched practically all of this white area waiting for Irma to hit in 2017. Because not much else you can do but stress stitch. So it's beautiful. It's got a lot of beads. I didn't do the Arctic rays for his headband and his scarf. That stuff was just way too thick and was driving me crazy. But it is beautiful with the beading. Once again, I didn't keep track of what the fabric is. It's a little dusty. It's been out. It's an even weave. Might be a Jobeline, but it's just an even weave, probably 32 count. And once again, I'm not sure what the colorway is. I got it at my local LNS, the color, the fabric, so I'm not quite sure what it is. I'm sure it was labeled when I bought it, but all the little jewels. Yeah, this was one of my first Mirabilias I did, and a lot of beading, but it's beautiful. And another previous finish that I'm getting ready to put away for a while. Mother Moon. EJ, this one's for you. Here's Mother Moon. Oh, I love her. I left off the border that they had for her. And once again, I do not remember the color of the fabric. I do know it's a Jobeline. I don't know what colorway it is. But my goodness, she is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I do have father-son to complete. I don't know when I'm going to get around to him, but I'll get father-son done at some point and get him out. But she is gorgeous. The white in these flowers, oh, there's so many colors that are so similar together that blend so closely together. It was kind of a headache to stitch. There's so many fractional stitches, so much krennic. But I love her. She's beautiful. What else can I say about her? Mother Moon by Joan Elliott. I think it's in the Bewitching Cross Stitch book, which is out of print, I believe. But if you look hard enough, you might be able to find it, excuse me, on Amazon or eBay or somewhere. But that's Mother Moon by Joan Elliott. Okay. Current projects. My current project I'm working on, I don't work on a lot of projects at a time. I think I have 7 or 8 whips. They get worked on kind of when I feel like it. I kind of have a travel one that I like to take out and work out of the house on, or when I'm going to be chatting with my friends. And I'll work on a project for a while till I get bored of it. I'll pull another one, but I only have like 7 or 8 whips. Gets me a little too much anxiety if I have too many going at one time. Not to say I don't have a big stash. I do have a big stash. And maybe one day we'll do a stash dive or, you know, a thing of kitted projects. But I have a lot of stash, probably like most of you. And I find if I stitch on one thing at a time and focus on it, I can pretty much get it done. So what I'm working on right now is I'm working on Royal Games 2. I'm currently working on the Queen of Diamonds. I'm almost done with the Queen of Diamonds. I need to finish her drape or gown or whatever it is on this side. And then I'll start the Queen of Clubs. So I still have it in the Q-Snap. I'm currently working on it. I don't want to take it out of the Q-Snap. And I'll show it more when it gets done. But here is the Queen of Diamonds. Like I said, I'm over here. I do my krennic, my back stitching as I go. A little hard to tell. Let me move the needle minder. So there is the Queen of Diamonds. I'll finish this up. I don't know if I'm going to jump right away into the Queen of Clubs. I may put her away for a while. I've been working on this steadily for the past week. I think I picked up the Queen of Diamonds about a week ago. I had some time off from work before the whole quarantine thing started, and since I was stuck at home, I was stitching on her. So I pretty much stitched her in about a week. It's only because I wasn't working. I was home on PTO, Netflixing, relaxing, no kids, nothing, you know, husband was at work. So I got a lot of stitching done. And, yeah, I'm almost done with her. I'm hoping maybe today I'll finish her up. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with the Queen of Clubs or I'm going to put her away and work on something else. But that's what I'm working on right now. And I do have another item that I started the other day on my lunch break from work. Sorry, looking around, trying to get organized. And it is Flag of Stars by Bent Creek. It's a kit. It comes with the fabric and the pearl cotton threads. So I just have a small start on that. I started it when I was taking a little break from work. I only got one of the first stars started here. Got to get used to working on it. I was stitching it in hand. I don't normally stitch in hand. I use Q-snaps or hoops. So I think maybe once I stop the Queen of Diamonds, I might whip this one out real quick. This should be a quick finish. And other items I want to start soon, maybe after I'm done with the Bent Creek, is I really have been itching to start Reindeer Xmas by RETM. I think it's adorable. It's a little kind of Quaker design, a little reindeer, got his antlers caught in the Christmas lights. Very cute, very cute. I've done another RETM with the Gobble Bunnies. I have all the bunny series to do from RETM. But this Reindeer Xmas one is adorable. I'm glad to see she's back designing. And the fabric I chose for that one is a Picture This Plus 28 count linen in Pampas. So I'm going to do it in Pampas by Picture This Plus. And I converted it, all the colors, I converted to Victorian Motto Sampler. Let me see if I can get them up here. There's not that many colors, so I converted it. Let's see. And two more. A little bright, a little primary, but that's how her pattern looked too. So I think that'll be cute. It's kind of primary colors. It's a little hard to see in the picture. There's some glare. But I think that'll look nice. Be Christmassy. I love the this brown. Very pretty. And after that, I think I really am itching to start. Let's see here. Silver Creek Samplers. Halloween. Not sure what it's called. I have the pattern around here somewhere. Let me see if I can find where I stuck the pattern. Stuck it somewhere. One moment. Please hold. Let's see. Oh, it was open. It is Halloween. I guess that's what it's called. It's called Halloween Silver Creek Samplers. I just converted it. I hope that's focusing. I just converted it to DMC. And I'm going to stitch it on this. I think this is a Fabric Flare Dreamscape Sky Blue. So, it'll look kind of neat on that. And I hit my local market day at my local LNS. I attended that in March, right before everything kind of went crazy and they had everyone stay at home. And I got a few things. One of the things I got is I found this new fabric dyer. I haven't heard of. Oh, sorry, this is Seraphim. But there is a new fabric dyer. I have a piece of his fabric. This is Seraphim. This is just gorgeous. It's 32 count linen Cecil. Hope that color's coming up. Yeah, it looks good. That's beautiful. Don't know what I'll do with that. Got a fat quarter of it. Also, I purchased the new Blackberry Rabbit Butterfly Bliss. That's cute. Stitch that at some point. I have another one, I think, that's got bumblebees. And Heart and Hand Wee Quilting. The little quilting bird. Focusing. Little quilting bird. That's really cute. I'm a quilter. I'll finish that up. Hang that in the sewing room here. And this is not a new pattern for Market, but I saw it at Market Day and loved it. Frosty's Night Out by Blackbird Designs. And I found this is the new fabric dyer. Mountain Air. This is a 32 count Belfast called Fall Dragonfly. It's really pretty. So I'm going to do Frosties on that. Really pretty Mountain Air. I went online and ordered some other pieces from him or her, whoever. It's gorgeous fabric. And then I ordered from Barbaral Creations. This is a 32 count linen Belfast called Early America. She's on Etsy. That's gorgeous. Early America. Barbaral Creations. I think she's in Ukraine or something. That's where she's located, or Romania, one of the two. Beautiful. And another recent purchase I got, I saw this advertised, Shannon Christine Designs. It's her new Fairy Garden collection. I ordered the whole thing. It's cute. These are adorable. These little fairy houses. So at some point that'll get stitched, but that's a recent one. So that's all I have right now. It's just a few things. Oh, one more. Janet Jabber. I watched Janet Jabber. Hi, Janet. She showed this needle keeper, thread keeper, that's what it's called, a thread keeper. She got on Etsy, Brown Creations. I think it's B2 Creations Squared or something. It's on Etsy, but it's Brown Creations. So it's a sugar skull thread keep. Janet Jabber. You should go check her out. She's a real sweet lady. She showed this recently, and it does match a project bag that I made. And so I couldn't resist. I'll show the project bag one day. You probably hear my phone. I probably should silence that phone. Someone's messaging me. So that's all I have for today. We'll see. I might come back. Please if you like the video. Please click on the subscribe button. I'll try to put links below of, links to some of the patterns of where what they are or where you can find them. Especially the stitches, the quilty stitches one that was online with Coriander Quilts. But if you have any questions, please send them below. Please please subscribe. Thank you for watching. And I hope maybe I'll be back. So, bye.